I I am really happy to welcome Mr. Khetan. Share your points, your observation. Please, sir. Khetan, sir.
Thank you, Amitji, and a very good evening, and all my distinguished co-panelists. A very good evening to you, especially. Uh, MSME, as Mr. Amit Goon just stated, that after the revised definition, 50 crores investment in plant machinery and up to 250 crores in turnover, that is the medium. With this definition, approximately 98%, if not 99, of registered companies fall under this bracket. And as per the census of the MSME ministry, we have 6.3 crore registered entities and a contribution of over 30% in India's GDP. The contribution of MSME is enormous both in quantitative as well as qualitative terms. The MSME sector is not new to challenges and hardships. It's been going through it since 1947, if you ask me. But the recent coronavirus pandemic, this has really hit the MSME sector at the very core of its beings. Lacks of artisans, workers, weavers, finding it extremely difficult with the sudden drop in demand, series of lockdowns, as a result of which they are with empty coffers. Dun and Bradstreet had done a survey, and they had surveyed 2,500 MSMEs, and 82% of them accepted that the corona crisis had a hugely negative effect on their business activities. When a nationwide lockdown was imposed by our Prime Minister in March 2021, the MSME sector experienced a sudden halt of production units, almost zero sourcing of raw materials. Supply chains were totally disturbed, shortage of working capital, abysmally low demand, and which we all saw, the mass exodus of workers towards their hometown. Reserve Bank of India's report, if you have read, Reserve Bank has stated in its report that the MSME segment is of the five most badly affected sectors of the economy due to coronavirus. After the nationwide lockdown was over, the government did provide a slew of facilitative measures for handholding the aggrieved sector. The Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan package, which was 3 lakh crores, which is now raised to 4.5 lakh crores. And I think I'll just basically dwell on this because this is concerning finance. And finance is what is needed now for basically survival and then to again get back on your feet. Now, according to me, I haven't seen in my 44 years of industrial experience a better scheme than this. Government is guaranteeing the entire amount advanced by the bank. The company or the promoter doesn't have to give any collaterals. No margin money required. You have to make a simple application, provided you are a standard asset, of course. And based on your sanctioned limit of 29th February 2020, 20% of that comes to the company from the bank it is banking with, provided it is a standard asset. And the interest on that works out on an average about between 7.2 to 7.4%. And the repayment of this, that's a very nice scheme they have come out with finally, is a 2-year moratorium. And I think it's a 4-year repayment period. So it's a 6-year kind of a scheme. And this is a great scheme available to the entire MSME sector. But unfortunately, the scheme hasn't seen the success it should. Because with such terms and with such hunger of money by the MSME entire sector, such a scheme, according to me, should have been lapped up in 45 days flat, But since it's been 14 months and the whole scheme is known as the Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme and abbreviated ECLGS, it was a major driver of loan demand in the first phase of the pandemic, is now seeing a tapering off effect in utilization. As of 2nd July, an amount of rupees 2.7 lakh crore has been sanctioned under the scheme. Of this, 2.1 lakh crores has been disbursed. And the ECLGS aimed to provide collateral-free, as I stated, and government-guaranteed loans to mitigate the economic distress faced by MSMEs and other entities due to the COVID-induced lockdowns. The government then extended the scope of the ECLGS from time to time through introduction of ECLGS 2, ECLGS 3, ECLGS 4, and in ECLGS 4 now they have covered the entire trading community. All the retailers, wholesalers have also come in, chartered accountants have come in, lawyers have come in, company secretaries, all professionals, hospitality mein aapke restaurants, hotels, whoever have been registered as companies. They've all been covered. And the scheme was valid till 30th June. Now they've extended it till 30th September 2021. Now, one of the major issues here, which I've been speaking to the government, and I did so yesterday too, I told the Joint Secretary MSME, I said, sir, there were a lot of MSMEs which before the pandemic didn't enjoy any banking limits. I mean, they were strong enough or they had their own resources from wherever, but they were managing their operations with their own money. So it is not fair that you leave them out now. So you must come out with a scheme, because Reserve Bank normally says, it has a norm that of your sales, your working capital should be 25%. So I said, why don't you get the gross sales, because I mean GST is included in working capital since it goes out of the money which you collect from your sundry debtors. So including the GST, your gross sales, if you have 100 rupees, sanction 25 rupees to those MSMEs which are unbanked as on 29th February 2020, because what I feel is that such an attractive scheme, offtake of the money is not there. So either there could be 2-3 factors, that banks are actually not putting their best foot forward and still going ahead and lending in spite of the Government of India guarantee. Second could be that the MSME sector itself might not be wanting, because they might be feeling that the demand is not there and what's the point of taking money and then again paying interest. I mean, this is a phenomena which I am sort of posing to the panelists, if anybody could throw light on this, as to why this such a beautiful scheme has still not taken off in spite of the entire, you can say, the business community now, except for the large companies who are having turnover above 300 crores. They are not covered by this scheme. But all the companies below 250 crores, they are all covered. All the segments are covered. All the sectors are covered. Even the services sectors have been now taken into account. Trade has been taken into account. So virtually the sun has shone on the entire MSME sector in terms of finance, but still people are not enjoying the sunshine. So I'd like to know from any of you if why MSMEs are not taking these funds and moving around. Because see, on one hand, we are seeing in the newspapers, when we see the television shows, our chief economic advisor, Mr. Subramaniam, everybody, they're saying we are having again a V-shaped recovery. Because of course, the government, you must say, they have front loaded the investment. The government has gone on to infrastructure like nobody's business. So that has started to drive the economy, move the economy. Large companies are doing well. So I think these are the companies. Of course, agriculture sector, I must say, has performed exceedingly well over the last 15, 16 months. And so, I mean, these are some of the positive factors, of course, which has come into our economy. So I think MSME has a great future with the revised definition and with India's economy now going to boom, because I'm very positive that India is going to be the next story, a next growth story, and you're going to have a lot of investments coming in, and you got to have MSMEs also moving up. And the best thing the government has done is that they have started the scheme of clusters. Like you must have seen in the Atmanirbhar package, they have sanctioned 3 API stroke bulk drug parks because we are importing 70% of our pharmaceutical raw materials from China, and that is very, very dangerous. So that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, that you start getting self-reliant on those APIs which you are importing from China, which the government has rightly done, and they have sanctioned 9,000 crores for these API parks. The minimum size of the park has to be 1,600 acres, and only 3 states are going to get this award, and that is supposed to be awarded in the next 15 days. And the entire infrastructure would be provided by the company who builds the park, effluent treatments, your logistics, your warehouses, your skilling centers, your R&D centers, your common effluent treatment plants, so on and so forth. So I think these are good steps going ahead. And I wish all the MSME sector a great sort of a future, because I see a great future once the demand picks up and the economy starts again revving up. Of course, we've all been downgraded from our growth rate, understandably so, because of the second wave. Now they say we will grow at 11% instead of 14%. So anyhow, let's see whatever it is. Let's not get into the growth rate just now. Now the whole thing is to get our respective businesses on their feet and get moving and take advantage of the growth. Thank you so much for your time. Back to you, Amitji.
One question, one your advice to the government. If you say ki what is they are supposed to add in their measures, what they have been taken. One advice to government and one advice to your MSMEs, why they are not taking, that is your raised question. They are using this all measures. Any additional your advice to MSME and advice to the government of India, sir?
No, my advice to the government would only be one just now, that please make a scheme for all the unbanked MSMEs, all the companies, so that they get finance into their business. That would be advice to the government. And advice to the MSMEs would be basically that, look, now during pandemic, we have known which is our bad expenses and which is our productive expenses. We must immediately eliminate our bad expenses. And once we get money, the demand gets going, we must manage our working capital so efficiently that we must see that we don't divert long-term funds to short-term, and short-term, that is working capital funds, for long-term. So that's my advice to the MSME, Mr.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your insights. Thank you. Thank you.